Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, Pattsun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/NuclearRevenge, where OP completely destroyed the life of his cheating wife. Let's begin. Not safe for work, posted by Reddit user Enough Suggestion.
Years ago, I was a brand new store manager for Lackluster Video. Shiny and new, I followed the corporate rules to the letter, and I was brought in to clean up a store that had previously been mismanaged. During this transition, the district manager, Dave, checked up on me frequently, and he was always frustrated at how bad it had gotten. I hid nothing from him, and while he was grateful, I was fixing everything from the boxes hidden in the bathroom to the employees who had been stealing. He hated that it had gone on as long as it had. Throughout the day at Lackluster, customers would return DVDs to the store through the outside slot, like a mail drop, and it would deposit the movie inside the store into a basket or cabinet. We checked the movies in and then put them back on the shelves for someone else to rent them. If someone accidentally returned one of their own DVDs, I put it on the manager desk until someone came to claim it. A normal store would have about 3 or 4 member-owned products on my desk at any given time, usually kids' cartoons. I had 30. I had asked Dave about this, and whether I could throw them away after a certain amount of time. Absolutely not, Dave told me. We don't know whether the old store manager told people he had them or who they belonged to. You keep everything until it's picked up by the member who dropped it off. The company was trying to have a family-friendly reputation, and he definitely promoted that idea. He didn't want someone losing their favorite movie because someone accidentally dropped it off at the video store. One day I was emptying out the cabinet, sorting through the movies and checking them, and when it arrived, it was a porno. Pornos happen in the business. This wasn't just a porno. It had the most graphic photo of a gorgeous woman with the biggest schlong I've ever seen in all her naked glory. The front was her, in a Wonder Woman stance, double D proudly displayed, blonde hair down her back, legs spread, with the erect member standing at attention. The back of the DVD case showed her from behind, perfect bottom, with a hint of rear saccage. I cracked up and put it on my desk for the embarrassed customer to come collect it. Dave came first. He was looking through the store, terrified, because the regional manager wanted to come to the town and they especially wanted to see my store. Dave had to make sure there were no surprises for the regional to discover. He was looking through the papers on my desk. He wanted to see my employee time logs, and then he saw them, the member-owned product. I had to have 40 videos all piled on one side of my desk. First, a copy of Dumbo, a VHS tape of something I don't remember, and the porno. He held it in his hand. What is this? It is a member-owned product. Dave was nearly apoplectic, red in the face, staring at a chick with a dick that I'm sure would put his to shame. Why is it here? You wanted me to hold all member-owned product until they came to collect it, I replied. Well, I didn't mean this. He was flipping the movie from the front photo to the rear photo, possibly trying to find a view that wasn't completely X-rated, but no luck. Those movies could be someone's favorite movie, and we don't want someone losing it because it was accidentally dropped off at the video store. The aftermath, Dave conceded that it could be someone's special movie. I kept the porno on my desk for another week, and then I went around to every Lackluster in the neighborhood where I knew someone and dropped it off in their box so they could get the same surprise and laugh that I had when it showed up at my store. And each time the employee would want to visit the next store with me so they could enjoy watching the looks on that employee's face when they saw the porno. It was the gift that kept on giving, and still makes me smile to this day.
And then, we have this hilarious comment exchange between different Reddit users.
Did he have a sticker that said, "Be kind from behind"? There's no hole, just a pole. A member was there, but not the one they were expecting. Didn't peg this sub for this kind of joke. Agreed, but OP kind of opened the back door.
Cheat on me and have your new loudmouth husband validate your actions because I was mourning for my dead brother? Let's see how your new husband likes it when the shoes is on the other foot. And let me know how losing literally everything goes while I get full custody of the dog and the children.
English is not my first language, but the audacity of this woman and her loudmouth new husband makes for a good read. My uncle's revenge and how he stripped his wife of everything. From status, children, family, dog, and money. Here it goes. So my uncle and his wife had a very good relationship. They did everything together. She was a good mother but was dependent on my uncle for money. He earned while she stayed at home fucking another man and looking after the kids, 6 and 12. How nice, right? a really lovely and caring wife. For more context, my other uncle had died, so of course my uncle was mourning for a few months. He wanted love, to be cuddled, and not to have sex. While his wife didn't care, she would give him a kiss and a quick hug, then carry on doing whatever the fuck she was doing, such as cooking and cleaning. We would ask him how is it that she seems so distant, and his reply was that everyone deals with grief a certain way. Turns out her grieving process included cheating with another man, a family friend of all things. My uncle's brother had died, and during this time they had many friends visit them at their house, especially from a family friend they had known forever, who would visit with his child, so that the children could play while the grown-ups talked to each other. My uncle didn't think anything of it or the frequency of which this man would visit, especially when it was during the day. He thought it was a drop off his son kind of thing so the children could play. That was until his little boy, my cousin, drew a picture he wanted to show to Daddy, my uncle. My little cousin said it was a secret, and Mommy said the family friend and her were playing a new game that only they could play. That already made my uncle suspicious, but never did he think his wife would ever cheat on him, especially since he was still in mourning. In fact, we were all shocked. This woman is so prim and proper to a T, with a clean house, good mannerisms, fine clothes, and upturned nose. His son proceeds to take out a crumpled piece of paper, which he had hidden from under his bed, and shows it to my uncle, saying he went to fetch it from the bin after his mommy threw it away. It was a drawing. He explained that Mommy had told him not to draw her and the family friend again because it's a private game that nobody can know about. However, my uncle's son, feeling hurt, went to retrieve his drawing and thought perhaps Daddy might like to see it and give him applause, because he thinks that he can draw so nicely and Daddy would like to see. It turns out after some explanation that it was a drawing of family friend sticking his pee-pee next to Mommy's wee-wee. My uncle took pictures of the drawing while shitting himself and recording everything his son said about what he drew. He asked things like when and where Mommy was playing these games. Turns out she did it when she thought the kids were busy during the day outside playing, and that she basically had sex around the whole house while locking the doors and leaving the kids without supervision for a few minutes. He also found out that the older kids made their own game of observing the adults having sex, and would listen or watch the adults doing their thing through doors and curtains from outside.
Freak! Don't you have a knife? Get out of here! Go away!
Thank God I'm blind.
While the young son, who drew the picture, would make noises to pretend to be busy playing outside so as not to alert the adults. The children would essentially take turns to see what family friend and my uncle's wife were doing out of curiosity. This coming from the most self-important, prim and proper woman you'd ever meet. Do you know what her response was to my uncle when he asked her why, after finding out that they were together in his house with the children around, that he paid for, as her lazy ass wanted to stay at home? She said, and I kid you not, you wouldn't give me what I needed and kept denying me, so I went to look for it somewhere else, and something along the lines of, I had a right to do it since you weren't giving me what I needed or caring about me, loving me, etc. Can you believe it? Not only did the kids see that nonsense, not only did she neglect them for selfish reasons and lock them outside for a few minutes, not only did she cheat as he was mourning for his brother, she had the sheer audacity to claim it was because of him and she as a wife has sexual and fulfillment needs, that needing to feel wanted and loved was important for a woman like her. Fast forward a few months, they get divorced, they share custody of the dog and children while she gets married to the guy she cheated on him with. On top of that, the guy who was a family friend also had the audacity to speak up and say that what she did was right, that my uncle should have taken care of her, etc., etc. Imagine thinking you know and have a say in someone else's marriage and help to break it up. That it's fine to do. Do you know what my uncle did to his wife? He ruined her for cheating and leaving him to marry someone else, the family friend, as well as make his life hell. He actually messed up both their lives and got full custody of his children, and yes, it was amazingly rewarding. Even for us. She left my uncle for someone else. He, being who he was, tried letting it go. He tried to forgive her, went to church, prayed for her to have a good life, never spoke bad about her, and so on. Then one day she started talking to him about having the kids stay over at her house. This continued to her texting messages about how she missed him. He finally caught a wake up and caught on to what she wanted. She wanted to be with him, perhaps cheat with him on her new husband, and kept sending him messages about how she missed him. Thus, he used her feelings and urges to manipulate her into sending tons of backed-up sexts and videos to him by leading her on, which he finally then sent to her new husband. This was while they were trying for a baby with each other, but this stay-at-home wife would now learn her lesson. In fact, they both would. It taught them both several lessons. 1. She will always cheat. 2. The family friend who defended her cheating and married her would learn what it's like to be in my uncle's position, since he liked to talk so much. 3. She did it to her husband, now does it to him. Karma. Serves you right for helping her cheat and defending her. Let's see what you say now you are on the other side of the story. 4. Don't be a lazy stay-at-home mom without a job to fall back on. Then when the new husband left my aunt, she couldn't take care of the children and the laws in my country are funny and she carelessly signed a prenuptial. She was left out on the street not being able to care for her children. She had no experience, no fine clothing or jewelry and more to act like a prim and proper bitch, as if she has class because she has someone else's money. So he ended up with full custody of the dog and his children. Win-win for everyone, except on the cheating whore and the loudmouth husband. Not so nice when the shoe is in the other foot. TLDR, uncle gets cheated on as he was mourning and didn't want to have sex. Aunt and family friend had sex. Uncle got divorced. Aunt got remarried to this man who she ended up trying to cheat on with my uncle. My uncle kept proof, showed it to the same loudmouth man who had defended my aunt. They got divorced. Aunt was left without a house or money, and my uncle got full custody of the dog and his children. P.S. She never got that class wasn't what you had, but how you behaved. She thought class was having an iPhone, dressing well and having a tidy house while thinking lower of other working people when she didn't work for her money. I know poor people who basically have nothing, who have more class than she ever will as they know how to behave, treat and help others. Edit, my uncle is rich smart enough to use already rich family money to make him richer. The family friend was just as rich, so she clearly has a type. It's called wealthy. My uncle was clever before getting married, the same for this guy. When she got married to this guy after divorcing him, she lost the money she was entitled to every month, as well as the monthly childcare money when she lost her children. She spent what money she was able to get from my uncle quickly. I am talking 5-star hotels, $1,000 cruises, and clothes with her new husband. Her honeymoon and wedding alone cost her almost $1 million for her half of the event, which lasted like 2 months, including places around Dubai, shopping trips, and the Mediterranean. Not to mention, being a good mommy, she spoiled her kids crazy so they would love her and new dad as well. Not that he tried much for her children. She didn't take care of what money she was spending or what the prenup entailed, thinking the new husband would treat her fairly like my uncle. She was literally left on the street after being kicked out. She begged and pleaded for shelter, as well as to see her children. I mean, she was a decent mother besides the children seeing you have sex part, but eventually that stopped when she disappeared to who knows where.
The cheating is inexcusable. Ignoring the children just so you can bang your affair partner is absolutely disgusting. Looking down on someone based on their financial status is just plain stupid. But being a stay-at-home mom that takes care of the house, that definitely doesn't make someone lazy. It's a ton of work, especially with multiple children. We could at least give her that credit that she will make an excellent maid. She's still a horrible mom though, in my opinion, because of what she did and how she behaves. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.